Major flooding is occurring across numerous rivers in northern and central Victoria. And looking at those rivers in more detail, you can see many of our rivers across central and northern Victoria are experiencing major flooding. Of particular concern, and there's many of them, is the Goulburn, the Campaspe, and our residents and communities living there. Also on the Loddon and the Avoca rivers further to the west. And down around the Melbourne area, the Werribee, the Maribyrnong, and also the Yarra River are experiencing or forecast to experiencing major flooding as we move through today and into tonight. Now, looking at some of this flooding in more detail, we can see a number of our river gauges right across the state are experiencing major flooding, with some of those locations comfortably above major, with some areas experiencing near record flooding. And that's why we're so concerned for many of the residents and communities through north central Victoria. Looking at some of these rivers in more detail, the upper levels of the Maribyrnong River around Keilor, you can see here well above major flooding. And while it is starting to fall now in the upper levels of the Maribyrnong River, the peak is approaching the Maribyrnong area right now. So definitely residents there need to stay updated with the latest warnings through Maribyrnong and those suburbs. Further north along the Goulburn River, we saw major flooding through Seymour last night. And that water is very slowly starting to recede, but will hang around for a while. But communities and residents upstream of Seymour area on the Goulburn River, particularly around the Shepparton area, will need to pay attention in the coming days as major flooding is likely through the Shepparton area as we move into Saturday. And another river and also town we're majorly concerned about is on the Campaspe River at Rochester. We're experiencing major flooding there, and we could see that peak tonight into early tomorrow exceed that of 2011. And this is just a number, this is just a few of the many rivers that are experiencing major flooding across Victoria as we move through today and tomorrow. And even though the rain has stopped, water will continue to flow downstream of these many rivers, impacting our many residents and communities that live on or near these rivers, creeks and streams. So it is important to stay up to date with the latest forecasts and warnings if you live in this area or know someone that does. Looking at the rainfall to come across our flood affected areas in the coming days, today we're going to see a weak trough move across the state with some showers and possible thunderstorms, but very hit and miss, and we're not expecting heavy falls with that. Then as we move into Saturday, we'll just see some light showers and maybe drizzle patches popping up across the state, but very little, if any, rainfall expected with that. And on Sunday, we'll see that front move through the Bass Strait, but weaken Saturday night and Sunday. And then maybe just another round of just light drizzly showers across the state with only a few millimetres, if that, expected. And then on Monday, high pressure will move in, leading to fine and clear conditions across much of the state. But with little rainfall forecast for the next coming days, it still means there is a lot of flooding ongoing. So even though the rain has stopped, the flood threat has not. So we're likely to see major flooding continuing for the next few days. So if you live in these areas or know someone that does, stay up to date with the latest forecasts and warnings via our website, app and social media, and listen to all advice from emergency services.